Right, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Live at 5 show at
Welcome to Toffee TV.
17:24 or 5:24. It's not live at 17, is it? You know what I mean? This show is brought to you by Crispy Crunch.
Is it?
It is. We've both got one.
Yeah.
We've been into the box.
The box of hope.
Been into Kate's box. And got Krispy Kreme. Sorry, it's just like
I mean, it's a crispy crunch.
Crispy Crunch. What are you looking at? What are you working at?
I'm just gonna do this while I'm here. So go on.
Doing what? I mean, you look like you're doing something. I can't really tell what you're doing.
I'm gonna change the playlist so that West Ham's on.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All right. You
Fair
get
enough.
back to talking about Kate, or rather, don't.
I don't know what you're talking
Leave
about.
Kate's box alone.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can't read your comments out yet because Baz is too busy doing something else, apparently.
Well, I mean, it's not really apparently, is it?
I mean, you are doing something else.
I am doing something.
And you've
else.
allowed the iPad to run out of juice.
Well, that's because you had it yesterday and I just left it.
What would I have done with it?
It was here. I
Why'd
know.
you take it? Why'd you take it?
No, I should have put on charge because I do use it. It's my fault. I should have put on charge. I apologise, but now I've done that, I'm laughing. So that's up. Right, okay. Sorted.
Look at this.
It's done.
Oh, look at this.
What's the texture of it like?
comes.
Oh,
Oh, see this? I'm not happy about this. What they've done is they've pretended that the bar was a certain size, and it's not. It's just in this cardboard little thing, and the bar itself isn't that big.
well, that's all right.
But I feel
reducing
cheated
it for-
by Cadbury's in
Don't
Canada.
Don't feel cheated.
I feel
by it.
cheated. Not by Kate.
You can't feel cheated by Kate.
It's got 230 calories.
That's
per
a
bar.
lot for a bar.
Is it though? I don't know. Depends how nice it is.
Don't know
Do
what.
you worry about it if it's you know?
No.
So. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
shoot, you mean it's in? I mean, he tried to make it the same colour as the thing. I mean, it looks.
I don't think you're gonna like this.
It's made up of a structure that I'm not
I
sure
don't think you're
about.
gonna like this.
Am I not? It smells very peanutty. You told me there's no nuts in it.
No nuts in it.
It smells nutty.
It might be nutty.
Does
but
it taste nutty?
Just taste it. Is that a no? Is that a no, is it? Tom?
America.
No?
I'm sure I said to you, does it? Has it got nuts in or does it taste nutty?
What's in it?
Why doesn't it like tell you?
Kids will die because of that.
I mean, you know what? What I will say is, it gets better. But
I like it.
the original taste is too nutty. I mean, I'll probably be able to eat that only because
I like it.
I'm taking Zach to footy and I'll be starving. I can't eat till 8:30. And I'm going to be Hank Marvin.
I like it.
Very nutty. Very nutty,
I'm going
right?
to check the comments.
What comments am I on Patreon?
I'll go on Patreon because it's
Yeah, okay. Apologies. I mean, this has been the most riveting start to a live at 5:24 you've ever been
probably
involved.
find out there's no sound now or something.
Okay, there we go. Right, Adam Galloway, all right, lads. Hello, Adam. Are you okay? You did beat Gary Ward. You absolutely smashed the pants off Gary Ward. So well, I
like
don't know
it,
whether I don't know whether you did, but you beat him. You beat him. So well done, Adam. It takes a lot to beat the Siren, and you've beat him. But there's the Siren anyway. Owen Parks, hi lads, hi Owen. Right. Owen Parks says, I know the bookies are deceiving, but is it concerning to see Mark Hughes has come down to 2-1 to be the second favourite for the Everton job? Nope. Not concerning at all, because Mark Hughes will never be considered for the Everton job, as far as I'm concerned. And all of that money's being placed on him by Stavros. I mean, you're literally deconstructing Mark Hughes for Everton manager.
That's worrying. It's worrying naive. We're sitting here as fans, and we're talking like about Mourinho, and you mention the name of Allegri now and again, and people like that, and then suddenly Mark Hughes pops up, and you just think, where's that come from? And why does it come from somewhere? And do you know what I mean? It's just, it does, I can understand why it worries some people, because you just think, someone's standards are completely different to what ours are. And if it is someone at the club who's got... No, I'm not saying it is, but...
No, but Mark Hughes will never be considered for the Everton
Well,
manager.
hopefully not.
He wouldn't. His man's a failure. The failure everywhere he's been. Apart from Blackburn. He just stayed in his lane. You know, went to City.
I think I'd just give up on life if he become
If he become Everton manager, then that would literally tell you that Farhad Moshiri hasn't got any kind of ambition or any kind of knowledge about football. So, he's not, listen, this is really hard to eat and speak. He's not becoming the Everton manager, so forget about it, Owen. Steve Kelly, all right, lads. This might take long, Steve.
All right, Steve.
With seeing all the fixture changes and reading stuff about Amazon, BT and Sky today, do you think with Amazon coming into the game, we will eventually see 3 p.m. games shown live on Amazon and Netflix? When I lived in Australia, every 3 p.m. game was shown, the same in the Middle East. Just wanted your thoughts. Great podcast. Well, you know what, Steve? The Boxing Day games, we're on live, aren't we? Against Burnley, because they all are. They're all on at 3 o'clock. So that, to me, is the first kind of toe in the water with the 3 o'clock games.
Yeah.
Because you get to choose. Now, there was a law that you couldn't show 3 o'clock games live.
It's not actually a law. It's not actually a law.
Okay.
It's like a bylaw.
Okay. So, Amazon have got round it.
Well, no, because it's Boxing Day. Boxing Day is not classed as it's not a Saturday. Even when it's a Saturday, it's not Saturday.
Okay.
They're not actually getting round that. It's Boxing Day isn't Saturday. That's why they've managed to do that.
Okay.
And also because it's a bank holiday. I don't think the rule applies on bank holidays.
So essentially, just make it up as they go along. So I see a situation where it goes to 3 p.m. and you just choose your game, because why wouldn't you?
See, I don't see a situation where it's 3 o'clock, because I see a situation where every game has a different time slot.
You've always said that.
3 o'clock not being a time slot, and I think what they'll do is you'll have a 12 o'clock kick-off, a 2 o'clock kick-off, a 4 o'clock kick-off, and a 6 o'clock kick-off and an 8 o'clock kick-off, and then the Sunday it'll be repeated. Or starts on Friday, finishes on Monday, or whatever the alternative is. And every time slot eventually will be sold to a separate deal. And it will be up to the competing parties. So you could have 9 of the 10 fixtures being on Sky and 1 being on Amazon, or 3 being on Sky, 3 being on Amazon, 1 being on Google.
I think if this works with Amazon, they will have the rights. End of. That's my thing. And it will work, because for them to have all the games and put every game on live, it works. And the Premier League will make loads of money from it, more than they're getting now. Amazon will make loads of money. Premier League should launch their own Amazon-style channel, really, for Premier League games, because they'd make Brewsties from it much more than they're getting now.
Yeah, I think that's what they should be doing. I think they should, if they want to move forward, they should come out with their own streaming platform. And
because there's a lot of stuff that can then be done to fill it. They can have a television channel for every Premier League club, whereas they can get they can get content from that club.
What I was going to say is they've got hours and hours and hours of now footage that they could put on. Or you've seen this with anyone who listen. I'm sure there's people out there who are watching who've got the WWE network, and whether people might scoff at that or whatever, right? But people are into wrestling, like they're into anything. And on there, you get for $10 a month or £10 a month, you get all the pay-per-views, monthly pay-per-views that used to be in America £70-80,
Nice.
right, or dollars.
Yeah.
And you get some of the shows or some of the shows, but some of the shows are sold to free-to-air locations.
Yeah, okay.
But what they make it up with is shows that they've created during the week, or old footage, because they own essentially everybody's
No, but that's what
history.
I'm saying.
So if they created their own shows during the week, and because obviously Everton would, as part of the deal, Everton, Liverpool, all the other clubs would have to give them access as part of the
that's
deal.
what I mean, yeah.
They went to them and said, right, we've got this game we do every week, this show we do, and with 2 of your players do something, right? Okay, do 2 players, whatever. I don't know. Interviews, old
that's what
footage.
I mean. That's what I was saying. So
And
they'd all have their own. They'd have access, and they could fill it with, 40 hours a week of club content. So 2 hours from each Premier League club, and that might be broke up into 4 half-an-hour things that are on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever.
I don't think they'd do that.
But they could do.
I think what they do is I think they'd have their own shows, and I think they'd have their own shows that would involve certain players from every club, of course. And then what they might do, they'd probably do things like, they'd probably have all kinds on it if they were to do it. I mean, they'd probably ask all the different managers to do press conferences at different times, like within an half an hour. So half an hour, then the next one's the next one, the next one's the next one. So on a Thursday and a Friday, every single press conference is live on their channel. Yeah. And it's stuff like that I think we'll see going forward. Because why wouldn't you control your own content? Premier League could do that worldwide. Now, I don't know what they'd lose.
Bernadette's asking us to turn the mics up.
Okay, is that just Bernadette, or does everyone need us to turn the mics
up? I don't
want to blow anyone else's I don't want to blow anyone's ears off.
Yeah.
If just because Bernadette can't hear us, and that's not personal.
Derek Hulton says loud and clear, boys.
I'll turn up a little bit. I don't want to blow anyone's ears off, but if we're not loud, just tell us we're not loud. It's going to be, the next 5-10 years, it's going to be, a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are going to change how football clubs do the business. Some football clubs that wouldn't want that. Some football clubs want to bring it in-house. Some football clubs will want it so that Liverpool and Man United
have got
their own, so they can broadcast their own and sell it as their own, and can give you, because then it's the full package then, isn't it? Rather than go off it whenever they're playing for a couple of hours, they'd rather that was filled by them showing it. Of course they would. And at times, sometimes I think it is mad that we can't get to see our own game of football, when it's a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Sometimes it's berserk that we can't, absolutely berserk. Joe Max says, out of all the dinosaur managers, which one would you have managing Everton?
Out of all dinosaur, I mean, it depends who's
who are you classing as dinosaurs, Joe? Is Moyes a dinosaur? Because if he is, I'd have Moyes.
Yeah, definitely.
If he wasn't, all the other like Pulis and all them, you'd have to go for probably Allardyce again. Who'd know how to get you results.
I mean, when you spoke Moyes as a dinosaur, I think he only became a dinosaur when he went to West Ham, when someone gave him a task of trying to keep a team up. Before that, he went to Manchester United, when he was on the up and up. And, then he went to Sunderland. Well, he went to Sociedad first, didn't he?
Sunderland was a poor.
Then he went to Sunderland. It was just a poor choice. He had no money, but he was there to try and kick the club on, but he didn't. He couldn't, because they were too. You've seen that documentary. They were an absolute mess, and they've had to change the manager again. Phil Parkinson's gone, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, Phil Parkinson's their new manager. So
it's not Cook.
No, it's not Cook. So they're an absolute mess. So I don't think that helped them. Then when he went to West Ham, he was tasked with keeping them up, and he did a good job.
They were going that. West Ham were a mess as well. When he went there, an absolute internal mess, and he done well to keep them up. Adam Galloway says, do you think within the club we are still suffering from the fallout of previous managers, and that is maybe giving Silva more time?
I think we shouldn't be, personally. I think we got a new board at the beginning of last year. We got a new director of football, and it was all about going in the same direction. And yes, of course, there's hangovers in terms of revenue that is still getting paid to players that are left over from that area, and that might be a stumbling block. There's obviously money going into the stadium as well, and I don't, that could be tying our hands at the moment as well. But for me, in terms of direction, the club should have completely changed and should be focused on going one place. Now of course, behind the scenes, that's quite easy to do that. But on the pitch, you've still got issues that relate back to the old manager. So I don't think we're completely over it on the pitch, but certainly off the pitch, I hope we are. But I think there are still decisions getting made that are very similar to decisions that used to get made in the old days, because Everton just can't seem to break free, because we still have a lot of people at the club who are left over from the old days. And until we get, my personal opinion, mine only, not Toffee TV's, a CEO that is brought in from a big company who's got contacts all over the place and knows how the world works, the football world works, then I still think we will continue to make old Everton mistakes. But I could be wrong. Paul Thornton says, hi, Ped and Baz. Just thought of a new name for Bramley Moore, the 4231 Stadium, lol.
Let's hope it isn't.
Paul Thornton also says, looking at Baz's face, what is the worst chocolate you and Ped ever ate? I don't think there is any bad chocolate, personally.
That thing that you got me last year, that you made me eat.
Oh! Got mince pies.
Them.
I've got mince pies, Black Forest mince pies. Sam bought them for you.
What did you get? No, what did you give me last year? It wasn't Black Forest mince pie.
It was salted caramel.
It was literally like eating dust. It was like you just got a load of dust, put it in my mouth, and then I turned into Martin Short in the Three Amigos, and you were just putting your lip balm on and drinking your drink, and I was like, and all dust was coming out.
Dave Robinson says, tea in one hand, toast in the other. What do you use to turn the kitchen light off? Nose, forehead, or elbow?
Elbow.
I'd just leave it.
I haven't gone toast. Mouth. I've used, you know what? Not my nose, obviously, but my head.
I use my head.
Your head
Forehead.
or the elbow. If you can get your toast there, you can't risk the
Forehead's
tea.
the safest.
Why?
You start doing that, you could go butter all over the top, tea all over the gaff.
That.
You just do that and just get it. So that what I tend to do is try and get it there,
Go for eyebrow.
and then just get it so that you can
flick.
get the flick then. Roderick Caesar says, just got home from 24-hour work shift and getting Toffee TV. Welcome. 24. That's not allowed, surely.
Well, if he's
Unless
like
you're on a rig.
No, but it might be like working in social care or something. You do sleep-ins or 24 hours shift.
That's fair enough.
And his name's Roderick Caesar, by the way, not Caesar. But, you know, you want to call him Caesar. That's
I'm channeling me Trump.
I hope you're not. Derek Hulton says, hi lads, loud and clear today. Haha, Mark Hughes, sorry, nearly fell off my seat.
Don't do that.
Don't fall off your seat, mate. Paul Early wants to know our thoughts on playing Gordon, Davis and Gibson instead of Keane, Sigurdsson and Schneiderlin.
Maybe not Gibson, but I'd have Gordon on the bench and I'd definitely play Tom Davis.
Gary Ward is still wearing his pants.
Good.
In reference to me.
I know.
Adam Galloway, you ever got close to going to the manager's pre-press conference?
No.
Nope.
You have to have Premier League accreditation, and we don't have Premier League accreditation
yet. Kane Forshaw says, see, I'm made up with the Amazon kickoff start at 8:15 for the Anfield derby. It gives me another half an hour drinking time. No way am I going sober than there, especially when I'll probably start drinking at 5:30. If anyone does Anfield away sober, then I don't know how you do it. Bernadette, everybody's saying that the mics are fine. So if it's yours, if we turn it up, it'll blow the ears off everybody else and make the sound like distorted. So apologies.
You're lucky you've got pictures.
Yeah. Mark Sobel said, if you and your family had to live in a video game world, which world would it live in? I'd go to the Pokemon world and try to be the very best like no one ever was.
Ooh. This is similar to the question we had the other day? Would you rather have Red Dead or would you rather live in The Last of Us?
Yeah, but if you had to choose a land to live in...
Well, which one would you choose?
Good question.
Pesland?
That'd be a good one. A few of the ones that Nathan Drake's bounced through in Uncharted. Some nice ones.
Well, it's not just the normal world.
Yeah, well, that's probably where I'd live.
I think Grand Theft Auto was just a normal world.
Yeah, but do you want to live in that?
Well, we already do.
Yeah, so would you want to stay in what you're doing?
It's,
Rainbow Island. I'm kicking it back
Seems
to
quite
the
safe.
Amiga. Seems Owen Parks thinks Hodgson is the best dinosaur. Very, very disappointed. He wouldn't say Moyes is a dinosaur. Well, Moyes isn't, but I didn't know what your thing was. Gary Ward says it's the same way NFL used NFL films to create the NFL network. That was in reference before to what we were saying. Stephen Kelly says, with your discussions about our midfield lately, me and the lad were talking today, who was the worst of these midfielders? Stefan Wren, Mike Milligan, Klaus Thompson, Gareth Farrelly, or Alex Nyarko?
Klaus Thompson was really bad.
Klaus Thompson was horrific.
Yeah.
Stefan Wren was the Premier League, or the Football League Division 1, was too fast for him.
Went on to play Champions League football.
Yeah, he was good for it back in Sweden, wasn't he? But what is the Premier League now was too quick for him. Alex Nyarko, there was a footballer in there, but he had the heart the size of a pea, didn't he? And Mike Milligan was one of those players that, for a certain team in a certain way of playing, was a good player. But when he moved...
I mean, I was only young, but I thought we started to get grip to
he was, and we got rid of him.
And we got rid of him.
Yeah,
he ended up at Norwich, didn't he, as well, where he did okay.
He was all right, yeah. He was...
Gareth Farrelly, Gareth Farrelly was just like, I don't think anyone... I think it was almost like, because it was Kendall's first buy in his third spell, I think people thought he was going to be some, like, wonder player, and he wasn't. He was just some reserve from Villa when we bought him, so... But
I think...
accomplished his dream.
Yeah, I think, Evertonian, so... It's all good, but I think the thing with Farrelly was you would have had to have had a settled team to put him in and let him find his feet. He was thrown in at the deep end. You're right, he was probably brought in to try and develop over time.
Roderick says, I'm in the Maltese army.
There you go.
I work 60 hours a week, but I have you for company, so it's okay. P.S. Caesar, Facebalm, I love you guys. I was just bigging you up. I was just making you feel better about yourself.
Well, he might feel all right about himself. He's working in the Maltese army.
I mean, the writing's really small. I just misread it.
Yeah.
Because the writing.
I just know his name's Roderick Kasari. Messages us quite a lot, so I know his name.
Yeah. I like to give our patrons alternative.
You do.
Lifestyles,
alternatives.
I might make some of you vegans.
Don't make any of them vegans unless they want to be. If you want to be a vegan in Ped's made-up world, then message us in. Paul Catzel says, what's with these new shite kick-off times, TV companies destroying football even more? Well, they are, but they pay the bills, don't they? And while they pay the bills, they're going to be allowed to do whatever the hell they want, basically. You know that, Big P. You know that. But that's essentially what they'll do. Are you doing the sleep out this year, Paul?
Has it even been announced?
No.
The answer to that was no.
No.
But isn't it normally no? When was
November, like 20 out November.
And they left it a bit late to announce it.
They do this quite a lot. In fact, I'm just going to message Karina.
What a shock. Everton have left it late to announce.
We do though, don't we? It is weird how we announce stuff very late. It's almost like we just don't plan it well enough.
Or we expect only a few people to do it, so what's the point?
Yeah, maybe.
It's the same with the run on Sunday, sorry. Half-arsed, and it's like, what? Why? Make a big deal out of it, but it's almost like, well, if we make a big deal out of it and only a few people turn up, we'll be embarrassed as a club. Whereas if only a few people turn up and we haven't massively promoted it, then we can use that as an excuse.
What do you make of people saying that the manager should have been at that 5k run at the weekend? For PR sake. Duncan was there, Joe Royle was there, Marcel Brands was there.
It's a difficult one, and I wouldn't necessarily say he should have been there.
Okay.
Because...
You think he might have got some abuse?
He might have got abuse.
But then again, would he, if people are...
It's an international weekend, maybe he's promised...
I think he's probably at home in Portugal, to be honest. But, no, I've just seen a lot of people going, he should have been there and all that. But...
Put it this way, right? If Everton were doing well, then I think he has to start turning up to events.
Yeah.
To
try and get his personality
try and speak to, people get to know him and he can speak in front of the camera and all that kind of thing. Again, it's something Everton haven't done with him well enough. Putting him at events. like that. He needs to be more. People need to look at him and go, I like this fella. I've said this for ages. But maybe that wasn't the right event, considering, you know, where we are at the moment. So
yeah, it's fair. I mean, that's fair enough. I've just seen people saying,
no,
I thought he'd have been there and all that. I think
Well,
because Marcel Brands was there.
Where was Denise Barrett-Baxendale? Where was she? No.
No, okay.
No.
Well, there you go then. They probably otherwise
No.
engaged.
You know, she used to be head of
Yeah.
Everton Community. I know she's not anymore. But she's,
yeah,
you know,
still should have been
why
there,
wasn't
yeah.
she there?
Litzy Kenyon was there, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
Kenyon was there.
Well, he
and
might have only been
Scott-
there because Marcel was
Scott was there and Marcel was there and Duncan and Darren Griffiths wasn't there,
there. Wasn't he?
No, where was he?
The Diamond Run?
No.
Oh, did they walk it? Or did they just stay at the
I think they just walked across
to the finish line?
to the
as well?
finish line to greet,
Fair enough.
greet people.
Fair play. Fair enough. Yeah. I think everyone feels a bit flat. I think losing people in the stream wasn't great either, but everything's a little bit flat, isn't it? We need a win Saturday. Saturdays, listen, this weekend could be a very pivotal weekend for Everton Football Club. I think if Everton win, then we'll all feel a little bit better about ourselves. We'll have a little bit more confidence going to Brighton, which is a very winnable game. Also a very losable game. No one Everton. But I think if we don't win, the pressure heaps up more on the manager. You know, and I think if we lose, I don't think he's our manager next week.
No, I don't.
So I think it's a big weekend for Everton. And hopefully we come out and smash West Ham, to be honest, because we need the win. This is dragged on now. We need to start getting a little bit of confidence, a little bit of form, so that we can start looking up the table and starting to just feel better about ourselves and get a bit of... Because it's been a horrible week, let's be honest. There's been moaning on Twitter and backbiting and fighting and arguing, and there's been people are having a go at all. So everyone's had it this week. We've had it. Dunk's had it. Marcel Brands has had it. Silva's had it. The fans
The void
have
filled.
had it.
If the club don't fill the void, or football doesn't fill the void, fans fill the void, or social media fills the void, and that's the problem. That's maybe where, if you were talking about something about filling voids, and that's where a manager turning up at an event like that would maybe help. Or you put someone in front of the camera or you allow someone in front of the camera, should I say, to articulate a little bit better, or have a little bit more of a license to say how he feels, rather than someone. Duncan goes up and he's there because he's there for the charity, and he's asked a question and he says, you know, we're all feeling bad, we need the fans behind us, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, it's in January, the sleep out.
Oh, okay.
29th of January, Big P.
Ask her as well, right?
Yeah.
Ask her if just ask her anyway. Sorry, I had to mute there because I was to ask someone, which was something I couldn't say on here. Yeah. Come on, give us some more questions before we finish. Anything, something. Don't forget, this is your chance. We've done A or B, but if you want to say something A or B-ish, let us know and I will get some good film questions in or something. Steve Kelly says, have you seen the documentary on West Ham leaving Upton Park to the taxpayer stadium? Worth a watch on Amazon. Terry Cook says, working in Liverpool, Sefton Park next month for 3 weeks. Anything decent to do, i.e. pubs, sightseeing, rather than just going to the Albert Dock and Cavern Club like we normally do. Go down Lark Lane. If you buy Sefton Park, go down Lark Lane. There's loads of nice pubs, loads of nice places to have something to eat. Liverpool is boss. If you know where to go, go down to the Baltic Triangle. go to... it depends what you like, but there's loads of things. Get yourself for a tenner, I don't know if it'll be worthwhile for 3 weeks, but for tenner, get yourself an independent card. And you get discounts off loads of places. And, I mean, this is the best one.
Come on.
If you really want.
Tell you what I want, what I really, really
Come
want.
and see us.
Oh, yeah. Why aren't you in, Terry?
Come and see us.
Come and see us.
Come and see us. But there's loads of boss things in Liverpool that aren't the normal tourist traps if you just know where to go. As I said, there's the Baltic's really nice down there as well.
But defo come in, Tez, if you can get in.
Paul Catchell says, I'll do the sleep out again if it's on. I'm not seeing it announced anywhere yet.
It's in January, Paul, there you go.
True about the Bills being paid kick-off times, but they're awful for match-going fans. They are, mate.
They are, the rubbish.
We know this. But we allow it to happen. And really, a club like Everton who have been, for the last 15 years, living off TV money, because you took the TV money away, we'd be just finished as a football club. And that's why a new stadium is so important, because it allows you to generate your own money. So, any more? Let's have a little look. Right. No, can't see any. Can't see any more.
Well, we're both busy tonight anyway, aren't we?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not playing?
No. Got sacked, didn't
I know what I thought. Yeah, the new team.
Not yet. I'll go back next week.
Ped's been... Ped's had a hissy fit. He's had a hissy fit at footy last week. Stormed off the pitch like Nev and being bombed from his team, so he's got to wait.
This is not.
This is in a league that you literally can't be kicked out of. He's being kicked out of for now. He's being put in the sin bin.
It's not fact.
It is. You've got a cob on. You've got a cob on because you said people weren't trying.
I played last week
in a league that's just about all being all inclusive. You've decided to kick off at lads who probably have had their own battles just to get there. You've bollocked them. You've had to walk off a pitch. I reckon you've like threw your bib down and kicked something on your way.
No, I paid a tenner for that top as well. No one's getting it. No, wait, what happened
You're out your team. Your team might be waiting for you to go tonight.
We're getting beat 1. They won't be. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
We're getting beat 1-0. We've won every game. We've played 4 games.
So you can't take a defeat, though, you're saying?
We've won every game I've played in 3 games.
Can't take defeat.
Like a rock, I am. Like, literally like the rock. And we were 1-0 down. The opposition team, who were bottom of the league, had about...
Stop it,
No, this is all true.
Yeah.
About 5 times they had, like, literally 4-on-1s against me and the goalie, right? Yeah. Or 4-on-2s.
Yeah.
1-0, and I started just having a little go at a few people on the pitch who were just walking around, strolling. And honestly, I'm not arsed, right? If I'm running around, you're running around. It's as simple as that. And I've got, you want to see the bruise on my leg I've got from throwing in it? It's one of those ones that's now yellow, right? So I had a go at a couple of people, and the captain told me to get off the pitch for having a go at other people. So I just said to the captain, right, if I leave this pitch, I'm never playing for this team again.
Just having a couple of pilsners, Ped. The captain here. And you told them to go.
So I told them, so I walked off, just kept walking, went in.
Where are you going, baby?
Walked off, just went. I've no idea how they got on. So we're in this WhatsApp.
1-2-1.
We're in this WhatsApp group. So the moment I walked off the pitch, I grabbed my phone and deleted myself out the WhatsApp group.
I mean, not childish at all.
No, it's not.
Not childish.
Walked off, went inside, got weighed, because that's what you do, you get weighed. Lost a bit of weight, bonus.
Off you go.
And just said to them, do me a favour, get me a new team when I'm finished. So I got a message yesterday off the guy who runs it, who's an Evertonian Stu, and he just went, Ped, what's happening? Don't want anyone to leave this, don't want you to leave, let me know. And I never got back to him because
you're bad like that.
No, because we had loads of stuff on yesterday, and I got home and I was editing, and I left me the cable here for my computer. My computer died. I had to come back at 10 o'clock at night, and it was too late. So I woke up today and I had another message going, Ped, what's happening? So I messaged them back and said, right, I still want to play. I'll play for a new team, and but I'm not there tonight because it was after I was not mentally in the right place. So I said I'll be there next week. She was like, oh, okay. If you need to go for a coffee or a pint a pint, that's not going to help, is it? You know, to have a chat about things. Well, I will go for a chat. So
you're literally the Morgan Snidlin of your team. You didn't want to be there. You wanted to get off, and off you went.
No, I didn't want to get off though, because that's the thing.
Well, you walked off the pitch. Your team were getting beat. Your team needed you.
You asked my wife. You asked my wife, and she'll tell you
that what? That Sam there was watching.
No, when I went home, that I was really annoyed by it.
Well, you will be annoyed. I knew you were annoyed when you told me the story.
And
whenever you told me.
And I come in here for a few hours on Friday just to
get your head together,
sort my head out,
and
do some work in here, and just like try and do some things to get my head around it. And it really pissed me off. So what pissed me off was people taking the moral high ground when they're there to work hard and
they're literally there.
And you know what, right?
For fun.
Well, you know what though, sound. If they are, and
if
I'm in the wrong, then I'm in the wrong. But I'm not.
I don't feel like
I asked you, and you said you'd do the same.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether I'd storm off. I'd
have
a go at people.
I didn't storm off.
I would have a go at
I was told to leave the pitch by the captain. So I just said, well, I'm not. I said, well, if I leave the pitch, I'm not coming back, because I don't think that's right. I don't think I was in the wrong. So by you asking me to leave the pitch, then you're making it about me. So that was it. So I'm getting a new team, and
see where we go from there.
We'll see where we go. See who I can upset next time.
Yeah, not good.
But like I said to you, if I was playing with lads who were rubbish and stuff, then I wouldn't ever have a go at them.
Yeah, if they're good and they're lazy.
Yeah, then
that's not good.
I could have said a lot worse things than I never.
Well, don't. Right, let's leave it there. If you want me to do the starting 11, it has to be done now. Right, that's it, done. Oh, hang on. Awesome Cookie says, hey lads, small confession to make. I was born on the 27th of September 1999, which happens to be the last time Everton won a derby in Anfield. 20 years later, I can't help but feel responsible.
Yeah, it's all down to you. Isn't it the anniversary of when we won our last derby today as well?
Oh, is it? Great.
Steve Kelly says, Ped, if we get beat, will we see angry Ped?
We get beat 4-0.
Like when we got beat 4-0 by the Red State. Maybe. Terry Cook says, I don't want my monotone Yorkshire accent ruining your videos.
They wouldn't.
Gary Ward says, if we win, but it's a lacklustre performance, does Marco still get the axe? No, I don't think he would.
No, we need to win.
I don't think he would.
We need to win.
Right, let's wrap it up. Let's leave it there. Thank you as ever for joining us. We'll be back live on Monday.
To discuss a win for the Blues, baby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. The Footy Show is out. It will be out tomorrow. Marcel Brand's chat will be out tomorrow. And a new episode of Road to Glory, baby!
Have a couple of Pilsners on us, baby.
See you later.